If you've ever watched The Exorcist and thought, not that scary, congratulations. You're officially braver than half the priests on this list. Throughout history, people have been puking, levitating, and growling in languages they never learned, all in the name of demonic possession. And guess what? Some of these cases were so intense, Hollywood ran out of special effects trying to keep up. So hit the like button, grab your holy water and some popcorn, because we're about to dive into the creepiest exorcisms ever recorded. Spoiler alert, not all of them ended well. Anneliese and Michel, when exorcism becomes a dark comedy. Hey folks, let me tell you a story that's both chilling and, well, darkly humorous. It's about Anneliese Michel, a German girl born on September 21st, 1952. She was so devout that if there were an I Love Jesus contest, she'd take home the gold. In 1968, at the tender age of 16, Anneliese started experiencing seizures and hallucinations. Doctors diagnosed her with epilepsy, but instead of thinking her brain was playing neural jump rope, Anneliese and her family believed she was possessed. So they decided to call in the home exorcism service. Starting in September 1975, two priests, Arnold Renz and Ernst Alt, conducted 67 exorcism sessions over 10 months. Each session lasted up to 4 hours. Heck, I don't even spend that much time binge watching Netflix. They even recorded these sessions, capturing screams that would make you consider investing in adult diapers if listened to at night. Sadly, on July 1st, 1976, Anneliese passed away due to malnutrition and exhaustion. The autopsy revealed her body was severely damaged. Her parents and the two priests were sentenced to 6 months in prison and 3 years probation for negligent homicide. This story inspired the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose. So next time you think your life sucks, remember Anneliese and be glad you're not enduring 67 exorcism sessions. When demonic possession knocks, the tale of Roland Doe. Next, we're hopping into our time machine and zipping back to 1949 USA, where a young lad named Roland Doe gave the world the heebie-jeebies. And no, this isn't an episode of Stranger Things. Our tale kicks off in Cottage City, Maryland. Roland Doe, aka Ronald Hunkler, was your average 14-year-old until his dear Aunt Harriet passed away in January 1949. Aunt Harriet wasn't just any aunt, she introduced Roland to the Ouija board, and if you're thinking never play with a Ouija board after midnight, you're spot on. After Aunt Harriet's departure, Roland tried to contact her using the Ouija board, but instead of a sweet "Miss you, kiddo," he got a series of bizarre events, scratching sounds on the walls, mysterious water leaks, and his mattress moving as if auditioning for Dancing with the Stars. If it were me, I'd suspect termites, but Roland's family had other ideas. They called in Reverend Luther Miles Schulze for a consult. They decided to have Roland sleep over at their place, and guess what? Roland's bed started shaking like it was jamming at a rock concert. Reverend Schulze, probably after changing his pants, suggested the family seek help from Catholic priests. Enter Father Edward Hughes, who performed the first exorcism at Georgetown University Hospital. But Roland, in a Hulk smash moment, broke off a bed spring and attacked Father Hughes. After this fiasco, the family moved to St. Louis, hoping the demon wasn't following them. There, they met Fathers Walter H. Halloran and William Bodern. These two began a series of exorcisms spanning several weeks. During this time, Roland showcased behaviors that would make horror movie directors take notes, speaking in ancient tongues, avoiding sacred objects, and mysterious scratches appearing on his body, spelling out hell and other cryptic messages. Finally, on April 18, 1949, after an epic showdown between good and evil, Roland woke up and announced, he's gone. He recounted seeing Saint Michael vanquishing Satan. After this, Roland returned to a normal life, probably steering clear of Ouija boards and sticking to safer games like Monopoly. Roland Doe's story inspired William Peter Blatty's novel, The Exorcist, which later became the classic horror film we all know. So, next time you're tempted to dabble with a Ouija board, remember Roland and maybe opt for a less risky pastime like chess. Clara, Germana, Cele. When making a deal with the devil takes you to new heights. Welcome, folks, to a spine-chilling tale from 1906, where befriending the devil wasn't just a bad idea. It also led to some unwanted, high-flying experiences. Join me as we delve into the exorcism of Clara Germana Cele, a young girl from South Africa who decided that a mundane life was too boring and needed a dash of demonic spice. Clara Germana Cele, a 16-year-old girl residing at St. Michael's Mission in Natal, South Africa, thought that signing a contract with Satan would bring her some thrilling experiences. And boy, did she get more than she bargained for. Shortly after this pact, Clara began exhibiting bizarre behaviors that left nuns and priests scratching their heads. She tore her clothes, growled like a wild animal, and spoke languages she'd never studied. If you think learning a new language is tough, try befriending the devil. But wait, there's more. Clara developed the ability to read minds, spilling people's deepest secrets and leaving everyone blushing. She also displayed superhuman strength, tossing nuns around the room like they were rag dolls. And the best? Clara started levitating in midair, witnessed by about 150 onlookers. Who needs airplanes when you can fly, courtesy of demonic possession? Faced with these out-of-this-world events, 2 Roman Catholic priests, Father Mansueti and Father Erasmus, were called in to perform an exorcism on Clara. During this intense showdown, holy water sizzled on her skin like it was hot oil. She even attempted to strangle one of the priests with his own stole. After 2 grueling days of spiritual wrestling, the priests finally evicted the demon from Clara's body. It's said that a foul odor emanated from her as the demon departed. Seems like even demons could use a good shower now and then. Following this ordeal, Clara lived peacefully for another 6 years before passing away from heart failure in 1912 at the age of 22. Her story serves as a reminder that befriending the devil is never a good idea. And if you're looking to learn a new language, traditional methods might be the way to go. Michael Taylor and the Exorcism Gone Wrong: When Demons Meet British Manners. This is a true horror story from the land of tea and crumpets, where afternoon delights sometimes make way for demonic possessions. We will delve into the tragic exorcism of Michael Taylor in 1974, England. Michael Taylor, a mild-mannered butcher from Ossett, West Yorkshire, seemed to lead a peaceful life until he joined a Christian fellowship group led by Marie Robinson. Instead of finding the light, Michael got entangled in exorcism rituals and began exhibiting bizarre behavior. His wife, Christine, grew concerned about his relationship with Marie. During a group meeting, Christine accused Michael and Marie of having a carnal relationship, leading to a heated confrontation. Michael admitted to feeling evil within him and verbally attacked Marie, who screamed back at him. Following this incident, Michael's behavior became increasingly erratic. Friends and family sought help from the church. On October 5th, 1974, at St. Thomas's Church in Gauber, a grueling 8-hour exorcism was performed by Father Peter Vincent and Reverend Raymond Smith. They claimed to have expelled 40 demons from Michael's body, but noted that 3 stubborn ones remained: insanity, violence, and murder. After the session, instead of pressing on, they decided to take a break, and that's when things went south. Hours later, Michael returned home and, in a frenzied state, brutally attacked and killed his wife, Christine. He also killed the family dog before wandering the streets covered in blood. Michael Taylor was subsequently found not guilty by reason of insanity and was committed to a psychiatric hospital for 4 years before being released. This tale raises pressing questions about the fine line between religious fervor and mental health, as well as the dire consequences of misguided interventions. When the Devil Takes the Stand, the bizarre tale of Arne Cheyenne Johnson. Now, let's hop into our time machine and zipping back to 1981, landing in the quaint town of Brookfield, Connecticut. Here, a murder case had the entire United States scratching their heads in collective confusion. Our tale kicks off with 19-year-old Arne Cheyenne Johnson, a young lad with flowing locks and a smile that could melt butter. He was dating the lovely Debbie Glatzel, and like many young couples, they decided to shack up in a new pad. Little did they know, this house came with an uninvited guest who didn't even chip in for rent. Debbie's 11-year-old brother, David Glatzel, started experiencing some seriously creepy stuff. The kid claimed he was being tormented by a scary old man who popped up in his dreams, whispering all sorts of spooky threats. But wait, there's more. David began exhibiting odd behaviors, speaking in multiple voices, and mysterious scratches appeared on his body, as if he'd been wrestling with a cat on caffeine. Furniture moved around on its own, like they have real sentience. The Glatzel family, instead of dialing up the Ghostbusters, called in the dynamic duo of demonology, Ed and Lorraine Warren. After some supernatural sleuthing, the Warrens declared that David was playing host to 43 demons. Yep, you heard that right. The kid was basically running a demonic Airbnb. After numerous intense exorcism sessions, David gradually returned to his old self. But plot twist, our boy Arne started showing signs of being on the express train to Crazy Town. He became irritable, lost control, and even dared the demons to possess him instead of David. Spoiler alert, they took him up on the offer. On February 16th, 1981, Arne and Debbie paid a visit to their landlord, 40-year-old Alan Bono, a man whose hobbies included drinking and, well, more drinking. After a heated argument, Arne pulled out a knife and gave Alan a one-way ticket to the afterlife. When the cops nabbed him, Arne claimed he had zero recollection of the event and insisted that demonic possession was to blame. Arne's lawyer, backed by the Warrens, argued that he was innocent by reason of demonic possession. This was the first time in US legal history that "the devil made me do it" was used as a defense. The judge, however, wasn't buying it and barred the claim. In the end, Arne was convicted of first-degree manslaughter and sentenced to 10 to 20 years behind bars. But with good behavior, he was out in just 5. This wild ride of a story inspired the movie The Conjuring 3: The Devil Made Me Do It. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, this case remains one of the weirdest and most infamous legal cases in American history. Because, let's be real, blaming murder on demonic possession is the kind of defense that makes even the most seasoned lawyers do a double take. I mean, can you imagine trying that excuse today? Your Honor, I didn't steal those Amazon packages. A ghost with Prime membership possessed me. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, whether you think Arne was truly possessed or just really bad at handling his temper, his case remains a pop culture phenomenon. It blurred the lines between crime, religion, and the paranormal, proving once again that reality can be just as strange, if not stranger, than fiction. So, what do you think? Was Arne a victim of supernatural forces, or was this just the worst alibi in legal history? When 200 demons decide to party at Latoya's house, the Demon House Tale in Gary, Indiana. Next, we're traveling to Gary, Indiana, circa 2011, where Latoya Ammons, her mother, and her 3 kids moved into a new home at 3860 Carolina Street. Sounds like the setup for a B-grade horror flick, doesn't it? Right after moving in, the Ammons family noticed something was amiss. First, big black flies the size of your thumb started hosting gatherings on their porch in December. Who knew flies were into Christmas parties? But don't worry, that was just the appetizer for the horror buffet to come. Grandma Rosa Campbell began hearing footsteps in the basement and doors creaking. One fine day, she spotted a shadowy figure of a man pacing the living room and found an unexplained boot print. Guess he forgot to wipe his feet before haunting. The pinnacle of weirdness? Latoya's 12-year-old daughter levitating above her bed during a sleepover. Who needs wires and special effects when you can float on your own? And the 2 sons? One got tossed across the room by an invisible force, while the other rolled his eyes back and growled like a werewolf, spouting lines like, "It's time to die," and "I will kill you." Such sweet nothings. Terrified, Latoya called in Dr. Jeffrey Onyukwu on April 19th, 2012. Upon visiting, he noted their behavior as delusional. Who wouldn't be delusional when your house turns into The Exorcist set? Someone from the doc's office rang up the police, and the kids were whisked off to the hospital. The older boy acted calm, but the younger one screamed and thrashed. Maybe he just wasn't a fan of hospitals. Enter the Indiana Department of Child Services, or DCS, thinking the kids were just putting on a show for mom. But when a DCS staffer witnessed the youngest boy walking up the wall backwards, they reconsidered. Maybe this wasn't a Spider-Man audition after all. Seasoned Police Captain Charles Austin, with 37 years on the force, believed the house was genuinely haunted. A photo published by the Indianapolis Star showed a shadowy figure when no one was home. Perhaps something was visiting? The family decided to bring in Reverend Michael Maginot for some divine intervention. After interviewing them on April 22nd, 2012, he concluded they were being tormented by demons. He performed 3 exorcisms, 2 in English, 1 in Latin. Maybe demons prefer multilingual service. Following the exorcisms, the Ammons family moved to Indianapolis in 2012. and all the paranormal activity mysteriously stopped. The house, however, continued its spooky legacy. It was purchased by Ghost Adventures host Zach Bagans for $35,000. He filmed a documentary, Demon House, and then, plot twist, he demolished the whole place in January 2016. Maybe he figured bad vibes don't sell well on Zillow? Whether you buy into the whole haunted house of 200 demons thing or not, the Ammon story remains one of Indiana's creepiest modern-day ghost tales. And if you're ever thinking of moving to Gary, Indiana, do yourself a favor. Check the property history before signing the lease. And that's all our terrifying, demon-screaming, holy water-soaked journey through history's wildest exorcisms. What did we learn? Well, if you're hearing voices, maybe see a therapist before calling a priest. But if your head spins 360 degrees, definitely call a priest. And if a group of monks starts drafting legal contracts with demons, yeah, you're on your own. Whether possession or just bad mental health diagnostics, one thing's clear. Doctors then certainly did not win any medical awards. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go sage my apartment, just in case.